What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Average Joe Lawn Care Show, the Christmas edition, because this is the last show of the year, so I figured I'd be a little festive with a little hat, little lights. I have with me today the one and only Jordan Netzel from the Lawn Tools. I hope you guys are having a great week. I hope you had a great week. I hope today was a good Friday. We all know we're working for the weekend, so, I hope you guys are enjoying this evening, and maybe this show could just be one added plus to a good evening for you. So if you're new to the show, the way this kind of rolls is it's just kind of a big conversation, a hangout. I like to incorporate as much of the audience as possible. I try to incorporate. Obviously, Jordan is my co-host. This is not an interview style type of deal. This isn't like a Q&A type of deal. We're just hanging out, talking about lawn care stuff as a DIYer and dad. We are by no means professionals. We are just DIYers that care way too much about our lawns, and we just have, a decent amount of experience that may be able to help you guys. So if you do have any questions or whatever, we'll try to get to those. Leave those in the chats. If you have any topics you want us to talk about, leave those in the chats as well. That's just kind of how it rolls. I mention that at the beginning of every show just to let people know, because I don't want to have anybody confused or stay on the show that may not want to be here. So I'm happy for everybody that is here. I always am blown away by the people that consistently show up every week, and I greatly and sincerely appreciate that. So thank you so much. And more than ever, I appreciate Jordan being here as well. So thank you for staying awake longer than you normally do, Jordan. I know this is way past your bedtime.
So I was just kind of like waiting to see how long it was going to take for you to let me say anything, because I'm supposed to be the co-host here, and it's been almost 2 minutes, and I'm finally starting to talk. But I do love that everybody knows that I go to bed early. There's like a couple people have already made comments in the chat about waking me up. Thanks for that, everyone. I do go to bed early. That's my MO. Nice hat, Ben. That's what I said.
All right, that's the first comment about the hat. There goes the goodies.
Oh, it's a whole nother level. Uh-oh, look at that. There's a tool in the chat. Jordan, good to see you. I actually have not seen. Well, no, that's not true. You were at Laura's house the other day. I saw him like across the cul-de-sac, and we were like yelling at each other and talking. But I haven't seen him for a little while because he's been sick. I don't know if I'm supposed to tell anybody that he's been quarantined. You good, Left Tool? Grace had a question. Grace was asking me if I dig up my dahlias and store them over the winter. Last winter we tried that and they all rotted. We did something wrong. I don't know what the deal was. So Scott Price, the mysterious Scott Price that I always talk about that nobody knows who that is, he lives in Fort Smith, so he lives like an hour south of me. And he left his in the ground last year, and they did amazing this year. They grew up really, really tall because they had a huge head start on everything else. So we're trying it this year. I think I have 18 that are still in the ground from the summer. But we're gonna see what happens, leaving them in the ground. We just had snow, so I mean the ground, it does get cold here. We'll see what happens. I don't know how cold it has to get to mess up dahlias, but I'm just experimenting with it because we screwed them up. So we're like, if we just do all that work and dig them up and then have to replant them anyway, what's the point? So like, they might as well die in the ground if they're going to die somewhere. So
did you get your dahlia start in dahlias from Connor? I just have to ask.
No, so my wife is really into flowers, actually, and so yeah, she was kind of doing the dahlia thing. Let's see. Because I'm trying to think when we moved into this house, because we didn't have any dahlias before we moved into this house. But I would say that she knew about dahlias before Connor. She doesn't watch Connor's.
Sure.
But I didn't. That would have been the first time I learned about it. So I brought it up to her, like, look at these flowers. She's like, oh yeah, those are cool. Like, she already knew about that.
So you guys did you guys build that house? That was I'm sorry, I didn't let you finish. What'd you say?
Oh, no, I wasn't saying anything. I don't know if you... I think we've got a little bit of a delay, so yeah, I don't know what I was...
So did you say you did buy that house brand new, or was it used?
We built it, yeah. We built it. Mm-hmm.
So...
man, I wish I would have known what I know now, like when we built it, because I would have put in different sod. I would have got... Well, I don't think Tahoma 31 existed. That's what Left Hill put on his lawn. It didn't exist at that point, otherwise I would have chosen... But if anything, if nothing else, I would have just gotten all hybrid Bermuda. So I've got like a little bit of common Bermuda mixed into my lawn, and it really annoys me now. I wish it was all really, really perfect. And then other people like see it and like, what are you talking about? It all looks great. But when it's your own lawn, you see those tiny little imperfections so much more than someone who's visiting. Like, even when I go see somebody else's lawn, they're like, "Oh, and this is bothering me, and this is bothering me." Like, what are you talking about? That's crazy. This is perfect, and they see every little imperfection. But just because you're on it all every day,
Yeah, I would say we are our own worst judge.
for
Uh,
sure.
I can't. I don't know if I'm sure if I had common Bermuda next to a hybrid. I'm assuming hybrid is anything that's not common, right? I don't know anything about Bermuda. So, like, is Bimini Bermuda? Is that a hybrid Bermuda?
You know, you would think that I would know the answer. I'm pretty sure you're right that it's just basically common hybrid. I think hybrid Bermuda is anything that's been
Okay.
cultivated, like it's been bred to be a desirable grass or whatever.
So I'm sure anybody that's in the chat, you probably know of the Lawn Tools. He's down in Arkansas. He has a beautiful Bermuda lawn, and he has a huge lot that he has a lot of future plans for. If you don't know of his channel is linked down in the description below, as well as his Instagram. I didn't put his TikTok, but he is huge on TikTok, so go check him out on there as well. Um,
I'm on TikTok. I didn't tell everybody I'm live on TikTok also right now. So if I'm looking over here and like reading questions, someone asked how to like winterize a lawnmower on TikTok. Have you heard of bad boy mowers? Bad boy mowers, those are the ones that are made in Arkansas. So that's kind of
I've
cool.
never heard of those.
In Arkansas. I hear they're good. I've never used one. I've never used one. Winterizing a mower, so you can actually just get like fuel stabilizer. I'm lazy. A lot of people drain like all their fuel or make sure they run it out of gas completely, so there's no gas sitting in it all winter. But I'm lazy. Alan Hain, literally, at one time we were talking, and he said something about like those guys who don't change the oil in their lawnmower and who don't winterize their lawnmower, and I was like, yeah, those guys, for sure. Oh man, I'm terrible. No, I will learn now because I have some lawnmowers that are way too nice to screw up. Like I can't justify not taking care of that 1026.
Well, I would say last year was the first year I ever went without winterizing any equipment because we moved, and I was like, I don't have time to do this, so we just packed it all up, and it ended up being fine. I mean, I did a full cleanup and service on them, well, at least the mower before spring started, but everything worked out okay. I think it's more than anything, and I said this in previous shows. I think more than anything, it's like setting up a habit. If you do it every year, it's probably not a good thing. If it happens one year, probably not a big deal. My next door neighbor at our old house, he didn't change the oil or do anything to his mower as long as he's owned that thing, and it was like 10 plus years old, and it started up every time he, like, first pull. It was just a plain old push mower. It wasn't self-propelled. It was just, I think, I don't know. I don't know if it's because that's the way they used to make them or something, or what, but
I don't know anything about small engines. That's what my brother-in-law, Left Tool, and we were talking to our brother-in-law because he is a diesel mechanic and just knows all kinds of stuff about engines of all shapes and sizes. And so the new Toro lawnmowers that they advertise that you don't have to change the oil, and that just kind of blows his mind. He's like, "What?" He's like, "That's just crazy. That doesn't make any sense." He's like, "How are they doing that to make it burn off
mm-hmm.
oil?" He doesn't get it all. He's like, "I would still change the oil." And then I'm trying to think also like how now with the lawnmowers, you're supposed to like leave them full throttle when you turn them off, or at least the Toro mowers. That's what the last two, the Titans, the two Titans that I've had, both said that on the owner's manual to leave it full throttle when you shut it off. And he just thinks that's the wackiest thing ever. He's like, that's probably goes right along with not changing the oil. And I was like, I don't know. I don't know anything about small engines.
Grace Ortiz asked me if I got any snow. I did not. We've only just had cold temps. We haven't had any precipitation here whatsoever. Kind of bummed about that because if it's going to be cold, I'd rather it be snowing than just be cold and gray outside. But it is what it is. We typically don't get any snow up here in the St. Louis area until generally January and February. February can be more of the heavier times we get snow, but last year, we did have some snow at this time because I remember having a good snowstorm right before we moved. Yeah, we're coming up on a year since we've moved into this new house, so that's exciting. Um, So yeah.
Someone on TikTok asked, "What's the best mower brand?" And they asked it just now again. They asked it twice, and I gotta sit here and tell you that I'm kind of biased. I can't claim that. Yeah, which if I just had to like tell you, the only mowers I've ever really used, my parents have always been really loyal to Grasshopper as far as zero turn mowers, and I always they're great. Grasshopper mowers are awesome, but right now, really like my garage is full of Toro mowers, and those disclosure they're all free, so it's that's why my garage is full of them. But I do love them, so it's hard for me to be like, oh, Toro's the best. Like I don't know, it feels a little cheesy. Um, but I was gonna say, so everyone's getting all these snow blowers, and then here I am in Arkansas getting snow before any of the rest of these jokers.
That is
And kind of like, yeah, make snowblower videos, and I'm over here using my shovel. I don't even have the fancy Toro electric shovel. I've just got a normal snow shovel.
it is kind of ironic because you generally do you guys get snow every year, or is it kind of like a one odd that you got it this year?
Remember what someone said the last time we got that much snow, because we had like 4 or 5 inches of accumulation. And the last time we had that much snow, it's been a few years for sure. Definitely don't get that every year. And in the Lawn Whisperer, yeah, Lake House Lawn Care is in here. They're both talking about they were the ones that got their snow blowers, and they're just, what are you guys doing? Just like polishing them or something?
That I'm gonna jump over in the chat, just give people some shout outs. Thank everybody for joining. Let's see, we have Turf Tamer, the accountant, Pacific Northwest, the lawn analyst, Grace Ortiz, Danny Lawn and Maintenance, the Lawn Whisperer, on the lawn training. I haven't seen him or her in here before, so thank you for joining. Dandy Lawn and Maintenance, Maro Marisalo. I probably butchered that. Let's see, Jeff Scholes. I think he's a fellow St. Louis lawn care nut, considering his little icon being a cardinal and blues emoji or symbol. Left Tool, what's going on, Aaron? Thanks for joining. Wish you could be here with your brother. That'd be a good duo. You and Aaron hanging out. That'd be fun. I should have asked you and Aaron be on the show at the same time.
Could have. We probably could have. My closet's a little small. He asked me if I wanted to come to. He's got like a little studio in there, and I was like, no, I don't want to bug anybody else. And also, I want to be able to like roll out of here and like go right to bed. So that's what.
Yeah.
This is pretty cool. So there's a guy. Someone commented on TikTok, and they asked what happens to the old custom Greensmaster 1000. So the channel name is Red Iron Turf. And Red Eye, we've chatted a little bit on TikTok. So he's a distributor, I think, is the term that you use. Is that right, Red Iron? But we kind of chatted a little bit, and he actually had a Greensmaster 1026 when I was kind of shopping before the whole thing happened with Toro. Yeah, a distributor. There he says, yep. And just seeing some of his TikTok videos, I'm drooling over the stuff in his garage, like because he's got some 5 reel units of fairway mowers and all kinds of cool stuff. So, Red Iron Turf though, the old Greensmaster. I mean, I still have it and I'll still use it. Some really, really, really cool stuff coming up. I guess only the people who are watching this video or who are live right now are gonna have this like heads up. I don't think my father-in-law is gonna watch this video, so I think I can say this, but. My in-laws, my mother-in-law and my wife's stepdad just moved here like Sunday. When we were getting all that snow, they were pulling in like literally. And so they bought a house on the old golf course it's like literally a 5-minute drive from here. And one of the holes, so there's like it was a par 4, I want to say, that was right in his backyard, or what in this house's backyard. And so the green is literally right in his backyard. It's junk now, like it's just sand. There's like no grass there. And so I don't know if I've even consulted Left Tool on this, if he's if he's as in as I am right now. He's excited about this, but we want to get that green going again. And they've got a really cool, like a bunch of cool neighbors that all seem to want to keep it up. And so I'm like, man, if we could tag team this and have like 6 people going at it and mowing this all the time. There's that par 4, so probably just keeping up like right behind their houses and the green, but right across the street there's a par 3 and there's like a pond and everything, and the tee box with the marker still there. The golf course is not opening. I think they've actually started to sell off some of the land, and so Try to figure that out. Not probably put too much money into it, because we could just as easily then have like them come in and bulldoze it after we do a
Sure.
ton of hard work. Par three right across the street, and so I would love to get that green and the par three across the street looking really nice again, like get them playable. And then that's where the other Greensmaster. I have my custom painted Greensmaster 1000, and then the one that I didn't paint at all, that's still got an 11 blade reel on it. Both of those are like $500. Um, so the other one I'll probably take over there and teach him how to use it. And then if I go down there from time to time and mow the greens, make videos or whatever down on the golf course, because if we can get that looking really cool, I think it'd be a lot of fun.
So I missed it because I was looking at the chat. Did you say this was a golf course that's like going out of business or about to go out of business?
It's gone.
So
It's way.
that reminds me of what's that fried eggs, when they went and the fried eggs YouTube channel, when they went and took that green, and that's what they used at his dad's house, right?
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. No, this one doesn't even have, like, it's been gone for a long
Oh, I
time.
gotcha.
My pasture looks better than that golf course. But like I said, some of the homeowners have been taking it upon themselves to mow some stuff. So like,
Sure.
it's part. There's grass, but it's basically starting from scratch. Other than being level, like the spots that were the greens. I mean, they're flat and they're raised. I mean, they've got the drainage underneath
Sure.
and everything. So um, I don't know how like horrible the irrigation is, because I even thought about trying to find the irrigation line and like plug into
Sure.
it a hose or
Yeah.
something, get a quick on the hose and then just plug in your hose and irrigate the green. I don't know if that would work, but it's probably toast.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. That'd make for some good content. So that you were mentioning like fairway mowers and greens mowers. I wouldn't be able to tell you the difference. Do you like what's the difference between the two? I know you're just kind of dabbling in this, and you kind of have learned as you have gone, but like what's the difference between like a greens mower and a fairway mower?
So like the height of cut, because greens, they're keeping really really
Mhm.
short, like 1-2 inches, and then whereas a fairway would be a little higher than like 0.3 inches or something like that. So a lot of times they'll use. So I have an 8 blade reel on my yellow greens master, and on the 1026. Both of those are 8 blade reels, and the lower the blade count, the higher the grass cut is usually how that kind of correlates. It cuts better if you have fewer blades, if you're cutting higher. And then if you have a really short turn, like a green, you want 11 blade, or 12 blade, 13, like, I mean, just like a lot of blades, because you want to cut more of the grass blades, like, really fast. Um, and so if we're talking like riding mower, so a greens mower, mine is a greens mower, my
Yep.
triplex. That's a greens master 3100. Whereas like the fairway mower, some of those have like 5 reels, so 5 units on
Mhm.
them. So you just huge swath at one time, so that it goes a lot faster when you're cutting a long fairway.
So is like because the only other homeowner that I know has a ride on reel mower is Connor. Is his a fairway or a greens mower?
I want to say that his is technically a fairway mower. His is a diesel. I could be wrong about that. I'm trying to think what his model was.
I
His is
thought it was a
a
3100D.
so maybe it's a greens. It might just be a Greensmaster 3100 diesel, and maybe it's the same thing as mine, just a different. Mine's gas. His is diesel. That might be the only difference. But I don't. Yeah, I don't. For some reason, I don't know why I was thinking that it was a fairway. But again, even if you had a fairway mower, I mean, theoretically, if you change the reels out and lower the height, like, it's going to function basically like here. Okay, Red Iron Turf, he's on TikTok. He's telling me greens, 14 blade reels, 0.125 inches or lower, 11 blade. Oh, look at this guy. 11 blade for 5 to 0.75, and 8 blade for a half inch to 1 inch. So I keep mine at about a half inch, and so that's why I've got 8 blade reels on mine. Look at him over here. See, I need to interview Red Iron Turf. You need to actually, some interesting stuff happened today. We're talking about like road trips and different things, and so you're way up north, aren't you? There's a Greensmaster 3100, Real Master 3120 inch. 31, 21 on the Greensmaster 32. You're already over my head, man. He's like, so someone's asking also what type of grass is green? If it's Bermuda, what type? So that uh my front yard is Bermuda. Looks so my Bermuda's brown right now. I'm not sure if that's what you're asking, but in the wintertime Bermuda goes brown when it gets cold. So maybe if your lawn is brown right now, then you've got Bermuda. Well, or something else that goes dormant. But if you have a lot of green grass, but you have Bermuda, then it's weeds. You've got like winter bluegrass, poana. What else we got? TikTok. I'm on the behind the curve. Coven Carlson, you need to get on TikTok. Coven would make some good TikTok videos. He's like the handiest guy
Yeah, and it
ever.
seems like TikTok's like they want short bursts of videos, no long videos. It's just quick and get in, get out, and like that's what you want in TikTok, right? I don't know. I'm not on TikTok, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah, max of them, most of them are like 15
Yeah.
seconds. Oh, he's explaining. I got that question way wrong. He's a golf green. What type of grass is a golf green? A lot of them are bent grass. Who's that? D Morto 3. A lot of them are bent grass. Some are Bermuda. I mean, they lots of different types of grass. They'll have like zoysia grass on lots of different golf courses, but um, yeah. I think bent grass. I feel like at least around here, that's what I feel like is the most
The
popular.
golf course in my neighborhood, it's a zoysia fairways and bent grass greens, and then the roughs are like a fescue blend of some sort. It looks really cool at this time of year because you just see these brown tan stripes down the whole fairway, and then you have these really green greens, and it's kind of cool looking because like during the summer you can't tell like you can tell like that there's a slight color differentiation between everything, but it really stands out during this time of year. I think it's kind of neat to see that.
Go for on the winter, so I've got brown everywhere except for just the fairway and the green. It's green, so that's why I like the just that it looks so different that it
Yeah,
stands out.
yeah. I'm gonna hop back over in the chat, give some people additional shout outs because there's more people. Charlie Hicks is actually my brother. If anybody wants to know, he's my oldest brother on here. Thanks for tuning in, Charlie. Let's see, the neighborhood dominator, Brett's Grasscapades, George from Princess Cut Lawn Care. I think I already gave lawn analyst. Let's see. I think that's pretty much everywhere. Brandon from Bush League Lawns. What's going on? Derek Dockett. Thank you for tuning in, buddy. Elevated lawnscapes. I don't know why sometimes this is hard for me to read. Lake House Lawn Care. Nebraska Coven, thank you. Oh, Dad Who Mows Best. I believe that's a big Instagram channel. You guys should go check him out if you're not on there. Thank you for tuning in. I very much appreciate that. On the Lawn Training, thank you, Super TA. I appreciate it, buddy. I think I hit everybody. If I didn't, I didn't mean anything by it. The Lawn Beast, thanks for tuning in. Merry Christmas, everybody. I hope you guys have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. This is the last podcast or stream of the year, and then we'll be back in January. So, yeah, thanks for tuning in and hanging out with us tonight, everybody.
And hopefully you all have a Merry Christmas with lots of cool gifts under the tree. If you don't have a cool gift under the tree for the lawn enthusiast in your life, consider the desk lawn. This is the desk lawn 2.0 and is a 3D printed desk lawn with drainage tray and drain holes included. Or order yours today.
Throw me the link. I'll put that in the chat. Is that really 3D printed?
On a website. You just have to email me.
So, wait, do you have a 3D printer?
No. I had a guy in Canada 3D printed this one for me, but another buddy of mine is 3D printing the orders that I'm getting on these.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no, like the design on this thing, which I will say, I came up with this design. I was pretty proud of this. Like, you see the shimmer on the side of that bad.
It's like the diamond.
So this one doesn't have any seed in it. I was going to show these folks that Barenbrug sent me a bunch of different types of seed to demo for the desk lawns, and I was gonna put some seed in here. I think that I did like 4 little test pots of these seeds. Shade Savant, which I am actually really interested in for up in my trees. I want to look into that one because if I get a big bag of that and throw it out before a rain or so, I don't have any irrigation up there. That's what kind of stinks. Turf Saver is one of their blends. This one is Turf Star RPR. I think this is the one I'm going to put in this desk lawn right now. And then Dunes Mix. This one is really fine. It's super soft, and the grass blades are really, really thin.
So have you already like you've already seen that one before?
So I planted all 4 of these in little just planters, just little flower, plastic flower planters. See what they would look like. I would say that the Shade Savant and the Dunes Mix look pretty similar. They're both very fine textured, very soft, and then the Turf Star stands up a little bit taller, and that's why I like it for the desk lawn, is because it'll stand up a little and be easier to cut than the one that kind of like grows and just kind of falls over.
Sure.
The Turf Star.
Sure.
Straight.
Well, Jordan, if you have a quick link, throw that in the chat for people to check out. I don't care. Go ahead and throw it in there.
I don't know. I really don't have a link.
Well, you don't. I thought you had a link on your website to buy it, or they have to email you, right?
You just have to email. Email
okay.
the lawn. Yeah, the lawntools@gmail.com if you want to. Because I have the wood ones; those are like $25, but these 3D printed ones are way more expensive. So
okay.
Because the material, like, it's shocking how expensive 3D printing is. It's kind of weird.
Yeah. Well, I think we have around like 30 people in the chat. If you guys wouldn't mind giving the show a thumbs up and subscribing to the channel, it means a lot. It helps me out a lot. Just those simple things help any creator and any YouTuber. It helps us out a tremendous amount. So if you wouldn't mind doing those simple things while you're on, thumbs up and subscribe, and heck, leave a comment, shoot us a chat, whatever you want. Just throw it up in there. I'm just thankful for everybody being here hanging out with us. And Jordan's doing a live seating right now.
Live seating of the Desk Lawn 2.0. I'm gonna have grass growing in my closet floor here. I was telling you guys about some exciting stuff. So the golf course, the retired golf course that my in-laws live on now, we're gonna try to get that back up and running. Not really like the golf course, but you know what I mean. Those like 2 holes. Also, Sweet Oak Hollow is expanding. Oh yeah, we're gonna do this heavy. Sweet Oak Hollow is expanding up into the field behind my house. So right now I have like 1 golf hole, but it's expanding into the field and also into the neighborhood. So even as soon as like the next couple of weeks, golfing from the neighborhood and golfing from the field out back, on hopefully this summer building another chipping green right beside the one that's there now. So
that is so cool. I have to let you guys in on a little secret that at one point last year, me and Jordan were gonna do it was before we were supposed to move. It wasn't gonna be last year. Before I moved, we were gonna do like a little short like intro collab from the small Bermuda patch that I used to have at my old house. I'll put a link in the video in the chat if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, to the video of the Bermuda patch I plugged and whatnot. But anyway, we were gonna do a funny little thing where I was gonna tee off from my little Bermuda patch, because it literally was like tee box. It was gorgeous, and it was common Bermuda. It wasn't anything special. But then I dropped the ball and it never happened because it just life happened and I didn't get around to doing it.
Drop the ball. Never dropped a ball down on that Bermuda
I
grass.
think that would have been great if I would have done.
So now is just come down here and play around at Sweet Oak Hollow for real.
I next year I'm hoping I can make some rounds, because I feel like I'm the only one that hasn't collabed with people, like legitimately. Like the only collab, like the main collab I did, which was over almost a couple years ago, was the Raising Men Lawn Care fundraiser thing. That was like the one and only collab I did, and I haven't really done like a big collab since then. I mean, not to say Brandon wasn't a big collab, but you know what I mean. I haven't like gone around and seen a bunch of people like everyone else has, and I do plan on doing that. I want to really bad. As you all know, this year has just been not the best year, so.
Somebody asked what kind of grass is in their desk lawn, and it is not my like supply for the desk lawns that I've been making, the wooden ones that we've been sending out so far. It's Ewing. So Ewing is a landscape supply store. Is what they call it. So that's half of what's on Sweet Oak Hollow right now. Actually, I bought a bag of that, and that's what I did my second round of seeding on Sweet Oak Hollow for the winter. And then I went and got another bag for the desk lawns. So that's what's in your desk lawns if you have one today. Take over your lawn. Yes, no. So Ben, you need to come. So basically, my plan for this next season for 2021, if anybody comes to visit, the shtick, the thing is going to be that if you come, you get to play golf on Sweet Oak Hollow. But you got to mow first. That's the greens fee, is mowing. You got to mow the green, and then you play. And of course, we'll film it. But
hey, I'm down with that. I would be more than happy to mow your lawn, the entire thing.
Wow. Which now what are we talking, like up in the trees and everything?
You name it, I'll take care of it.
You need to come for a week, I think.
Hey, I just wanted to let everybody know you guys might experience some buffering issues, or the stream might be a little choppy. I don't know why. Things are just not going the best right now. I just wanted to make that, announce that just so everybody knows. I hope it's still smooth and whatnot, but I'm just letting you know. YouTube let me know that it might be not smooth. But anyway, yes, Jordan, I'm going to be mowing. Whenever I get there, I want to use the I don't even know the super expensive reel mower. I want to use the neon green reel mower. I want to use the 31D. I want to use, if you happen to have the grasshopper, because I know you said that's your parents' mower. I want to mow that. I want to go. What's that?
Maybe I'll just so we can both mow at the same time. Like then we can switch off. We can just knock out all the fairways or something.
Yes, and then I want to head over to Aaron's house and mow his lawn. I know it's nothing. It's not real. It's not, real mode. He's not real mowing right now, is he?
Not right now. I don't know what the plan is over there, man. The plan was for him to start real mowing, but Left Tool, are you still in next year? Or I don't know if I'm supposed to be saying anything. But anyway, I'll let him say something. But I don't know. But yes, if Left Tool is there and he's mowing with something fancy or something fun, you can mow Left Tool's lawn. I give you permission.
The neighbor, I don't know why. I always want to say the lawn neighbor dominator, but it's the neighbor dominator. He said, how much for the yellow green mower? No shipping. I'll pick it up.
Greens mower. That's like a collector's item now, though. That's one of a. I don't know if I'll ever get rid of that, because it's not like the True Cut. Oh, Left Tool says he's not going to let you mow his lawn. So no, I have emotional attachment. I put like blood, sweat, and tears into that one. And the neighbor dominator, or is it the neighborhood dominator? Huh?
Oh yeah. See, it plays with your mind when you read it. You want to read. For some reason, I want to put lawn in front of it, and then you mentioned the neighborhood.
And shout out to Neon Goalie 84. I love you, Neon Goalie 84.
Is that on TikTok?
Someone on TikTok, yeah. I'm keeping up with 2 live feeds over here, folks.
Jordan's way more popular than me, so he's probably streaming on Instagram too.
No, I only have 2 devices at my disposal at the moment, so.
Aaron, I'm mowing your lawn, regardless of what you say.
Whether you live there or not.
I even if you're sleeping, it's going to be like 1 a.m. and I'll come mow it. I don't care if you're HOA or whoever, your neighbors start getting mad. I'm going to come over and mow it.
These neighbors are really nice. My neighbors are really nice. Brandon Davis.
What's up, Brandon?
Oh, look at that. Okay, Left Tool says he's still gonna be living there. Probably keep it 3/4 of an inch reel mode. So, Left Tool probably then will have the lime green Greensmaster 1000 set at 3/4 of an inch, and then we'll take the red one with the 11 blade reel to keep up a green shorter than that. Then if you wear that hat, you can.
I will. I will bring it just for you. If that's my ticket to mowing your lawn, I will wear it.
In the middle of the summer.
Forever.
I think he's saying that's all, though.
Huh?
I think he's saying that's the only thing you get to wear. He's still tempted, though. He's still tempted.
For everyone listening on the podcast, because this will go on the podcast, I'm wearing a Christmas hat that has battery lights, and they're all blinking and everything. So that's what people are talking about.
Yeah, everybody on TikTok has no clue either. Here, I'll show you. Here, everybody on TikTok, say hi to everyone on Facebook and vice versa. Oh, let's turn it around. Can you see? I don't know what. Oh, no, oh. Wow, is it like Inception?
Which, by the way, if you're into podcasts and all that kind of stuff, you can find links to this show that I do on most podcast platforms: Google Podcasts, Apple, Spotify, all that good stuff. You can find that in the link below. Just wanted to let you guys know. So, oh man, Jordan, I've been one thing I always ask people that come on the show is, how did you get into lawn care? I mean, were you into lawn care stuff like as a kid? Was it something that you just kind of randomly picked up once you bought the house, or what's your story?
I hated lawn care as a kid. Left Tool would make fun of me because I would literally like kick and scream and cry. And it was funny, like looking back on it now, it's goofy. So I was the one that got to sit on the lawnmower. I told you my parents had a grasshopper most of the time, so they had a 0-turn grasshopper, and I'd be on there mowing, and Aaron would be the one weed eating, and he didn't complain or whatever. He just like went and got it done or whatever. And I would complain to no end, and I hated it so much. I hated mowing, and now we've like turned around and basically just, I don't know, now it's like my main hobby and the YouTube channel and all this stuff. It's just gone way too far. No, Left Tool and I lived in duplexes right next to each other. And we shared a lawn. And it might be a little bit genetic because actually our grandpa at that golf course that's closed down now, he actually worked like grounds at that golf course, not on the grass, I don't think as much, but on like the garden bed. They always at their house had a really nice garden bed, tons of really beautiful flowers, and that's still, my grandma still does that, but my grandpa did that at the golf course. And so just maybe the green thumb is a little bit genetic, because then Aaron and I, we kind of took off from there and got that mower and started real mowing. That was his idea, and I'm a little, well, not still bitter about it. Like obviously that we are here now and it's great, but he wanted that manual reel mower, and then he wouldn't mow with it. I got stuck mowing with it all the time, and with a manual reel mower, there is no motor. Like you just have to. I would have to run. Like I was literally running across the yard to try to cut the grass to move the blades fast enough to cut it, because it would get overgrown, and so we get so behind. Even mowing once a week with Bermuda, like you'll just get behind. Like you definitely with one of those things would have to mow at least twice a week and stay on top of it. It's crazy how fast it grows, and then you'll just get, you just start bogging down if you even try to go slow at all.
So reel mowing's been in your blood from the get-go then?
I don't know if he did reel mow. I don't know if he, like I said, I don't know if he was a greens. I don't know if he was one of the like people that would mow, and if he did, it was probably more like the common areas and not so much the golf course, because he kept up like more of the garden beds, I think was kind of his thing. He was like grounds, and so he kept up all the surrounding areas, not so much the grass. I don't, to my knowledge anyway. I don't know that I don't know what I've heard any different than that, but I get distracted reading these comments, like reading the
Yeah,
chat.
that's what I've been. I try to. Yeah, I get lost in the chat sometimes because it's hard to keep up with it from time to time. The Super TA, my passion for the lawn started when the neighbor said, "Yo, Bill, your weeds are killing me. Can't you see I'm trying to have a nice lawn?" LOL. Been at it ever since. I mean, I bet a lot of people have been motivated to start from just their neighbor starting to keep up with their lawn because I mean, if I don't know if you guys have ever noticed it, or if you, Jordan, like if you've ever like done something to your house to make it look nice or nicer, like stepped it up a level, and then you notice like if you're good friends, or even if you're not good friends with your neighbor, they may notice and like, man, I think I need to start maybe taking care of my own house in the same way. Like it's kind of like I think in some ways, not every time, it does kind of build off of one another. When people notice like one thing looking better, they're like, oh, I can't make my house look like a sore thumb. Like I just think that happens sometimes.
Well, yeah, because it looks worse if the one next to it looks way
Right.
better. You know what I mean? Like it looks even worse, I
Yeah.
guess. Um, but it's also like just peer pressure, you know? You got to put a little bit of peer pressure on people.
Now, I mean, I've had plenty of people walk by since we're in a new neighborhood and everything. Like, I'm there's during the summer and spring and fall, like I'm out there every weekend doing something, whether it be mowing or spraying something. And I think it's well known by now that people know that I'm the weirdo out in his lawn all the time, and just
Well, see, that's when we take it to a whole new level, though, because all of our neighbors, like the YouTubers, like our neighbors, not only are we the crazy one who's mowing the grass all the time and keeping it perfect and picking every weed, but we're the people who are walking around holding a camera and talking to ourselves out in the in the yard, and trying to do. My neighbors still like they'll drive in and out of the driveway, and they know, and I know that they know. They've told me they watch my YouTube videos and but it still feels weird to like have somebody driving up, to their house and you're sitting there with a camera, like looking at it, and you just kind of look over and hey, how's it going?
yeah, I'm still like, even though I've been doing it for a little bit of time, I wouldn't say I'm like a veteran by any means, but I still like when cars drive by or people walk by, I'm like, I don't want to be talking to the camera when these people walk by with their dog. Like it's just, I'll still put it down and like look around, like, hey, what's going on?
Act like anything else.
It's still,
I'll even stop, like even if it's recording, just kind of stop and like act like I'm thinking. I don't know why. For some reason, it is still awkward. Like I've gotten over it a lot, and there have been times where they drive up and I just don't even care. Like I'll just wave at them, and then I put that in the video because then it's kind of funny. Like, oh, then you're just like showing that your neighbors are driving by, and you're just like,
yeah.
whatever, like, hey everyone. But there are times like when I'll stop, like especially when I'm doing something really goofy. It's like, yeah, I was just doing something else over here. I was cleaning this light.
Yeah. Well, that's why, like, I was, like next year, God willing, it happens. Like the GIE, like when I go, I plan on doing a lot more filming and talking to the camera. In that place, you have no option but to talk to the camera in front of a bunch of people. And while I know there probably are a lot of professionals and whatnot who know who YouTubers are, it's still like it helps you break that barrier a little bit. Um, Even if they do know that they do know what it is, because even I would say, like, right now at our new house, like my neighbors generally, what they've told me, they knew, like, oh, before I ever said anything, you do YouTube stuff, don't you? I'm like, yeah. How'd you know? He's like, oh, we just see you with your camera out in your lawn. I'm like, all right, well, at least you know what I'm doing. Like it's not like you think I'm some maniac doing
What else
weird
would you be
things.
doing? What else would you be doing with a camera? I mean, I don't.
I don't know. Like
I don't.
I don't envision a lot of people putting those two together because I don't know. I'm in like a little bit of a bubble. Like I know I watch a lot of YouTube stuff, but I don't. I know a lot of people that just watch like cable TV. They don't watch YouTube or whatever, and I don't know.
It's Brianna's birthday on TikTok. Happy
Happy
birthday,
birthday,
Brianna.
Brianna.
She gave up on me. She said, she thought I wasn't gonna do it. Look at her over here. She said, ugh. Now she probably left. Oh, there we are. She got it. She heard it. Happy birthday. Um, did Left Tool
I don't
leave?
know. I haven't
Did he
seen
go
them
to
chat in a little bit.
an elevated landscape? Said, "Yep." As a new YouTuber, it's a little bit weird with the neighbors.
Uh,
And then Tobin said he pretends to do something else. I don't know. So Connor is completely himself on camera. Like he just doesn't
yeah.
care. I think that though when he first started. So if you watch his videos, like you watch the first couple videos, you can tell that I don't think anybody is perfectly comfortable talking to a camera. Like it feels
Sure.
weird at first. You definitely get with that. But Connor embraces he's really good at that, embracing the looky-loos, like because he's given them a name, and then everybody who drives by, then he'll say hey and like stop and make a point to like point like to make a scene when there's anybody that drives
Well,
by.
yeah, because it's kind of like if you make it pointed out before anybody before they make it seem like it's weird, then it's like you're diffusing it before it ever becomes anything. So I think that's almost like kind of a defense mechanism, and it's a good one in my opinion. Maybe I should start doing it. I don't know.
I'm trying to figure out what Left Tool's talking about. He's the lawn and life. I use lawns as an example of lawn. Don't. I hope one of my neighbors never finds out I have a channel. Because he's used their he's used their lawns as examples of what not to do. Yeah, I've done the same thing where I like show my neighbor's lawn, and then my neighbor, it was really funny because he was, I said something about my domination line. I was like, my lawn looks a lot better than my neighbor's, and then it was not very long later that I'm like walking in my backyard, and he just goes like, "Hey, how's it going?" And I look around, I was like, "What in the world?" He was up on the roof. He was up on his roof and he's like calling out to me, and I was like, "Oh, hey!" And he was like, "Hey, I saw your YouTube video." And I was like, uh," and he was like, "Oh, the one where you guys dressed up like your wives and made fun of your wives or whatever." I was like, "Oh, phew." Yeah, that's the only. Don't go watching any more YouTube videos.
Yeah, I mean, there was one video earlier, or I don't know, it was near the end of the season when I pointed out like the difference, the property line at my behind my house, and I actually talk to that neighbor from time to time, and they've actually like, oh, we really like your YouTube channels, and then I was hoping that maybe they didn't see that one, but I don't know. Maybe it's just they see it and they're like, oh, that jerk.
Yeah, they knew. Probably know. And I'm like, "Oh, shoot." So, I mean, I'm always thinking of that, and so I don't say anything anymore. Like, and at the same time, like, I don't want to fault anybody or like try to like, you're dumb for not wanting to have your lawn half an inch like mine. Yours is a
Yeah.
normal lawn, and your is 2 inches long. Like I don't know. Like I don't feel like I know that this is a goofy hobby, and I know that we are the
Yes.
exception,
Yes.
and that's okay.
How many people you got watching on TikTok?
It's been about 12. They're like people will come and go. There's 10 right
Okay.
now. It's been 12. Because TikTok, it's quick. So people are looking for like videos to watch just real
I
fast. You scroll through
gotcha.
and scroll through just for a second. Red Iron Turf has been here the whole time. But, oh, Mickey Ball from down in Texas. What was I saying? Oh yeah. No. So people are like scrolling by and come across a live video and they might watch for a little bit. I do the same thing. Like I'll get on a live video and watch it for a little bit, but it's not something like you go for the purpose of watching long form content usually. At least in my experience. But there's been a handful of people who've been here for a while.
Jordan, I have to give you props. I mean, you have done an exceptional job on TikTok as well as Instagram this year with your short films. I mean, you've been like, especially, I think the one that set you off, and maybe I'm wrong, it was the one with the rotary scissors. That
Mm.
was the one, like, because it was a satisfying short video that you put a little music to, and people were like, "I don't even care about lawns, but this is awesome." Like that's what they saw.
That one golf guy. I see that one golf guy. He didn't comment anything because he's being shy, but I see his little emblem up there. I know he's in here. Congratulations. I'm glad that Caden is home. I saw your wife post that on TikTok. and that's cool. I didn't even know he had his surgery, but then she said he's home and everything seems to be going well. So 2 thumbs up for that. Yeah, no, that video has like 26 million views on
That's
TikTok,
nuts.
and then it like tons of reposts on TikTok and tons of reposts on Instagram, and then yeah, Instagram kind of went nuts a little bit too. So yeah, that one video, which is just one of those things. I guess that there's a bunch of creators in here, like I don't know. Gary Vee talks about this a lot. He said he actually a video I just came across the other day where someone asked him, "Do you post stuff for quantity or quality?" And he says quantity, and I was kind of like, whoa, wait, like that seems a little bit weird. Like, don't you want quality content? He says quantity because quality is subjective.
Sure.
You're like, yeah, and because there was no way I thought that video was gonna do that. Like, part of it is just experimenting. These just trying stuff and then just getting lucky every once in a while, like just having those little moments that just kind of like pop off. And that's all that was. And so it was fun. Like there were notifications going nuts for a little
Yeah, because
while on
I
TikTok.
remember on your
Like,
YouTube channel, one of the first videos that went big for you was your sand leveling video, and that was like, that was the big thing. And it's like you would never think a sand leveling video would be the thing that sets your channel up, but it can, and that's what I think, and I do this myself, and from the beginning to now, I still think and overthink what I want to do for a video. I'm like, I don't know if that's gonna look right, or I don't know like what camera angles I want to do, and lately I've been trying to just like, all right, I'm gonna go do what I need to do, put the camera in place, move it around, and we'll just, I'll do what I can with the footage and let it be. Like, there's nothing else I can do, because if I sit out there too long, I'm wasting time and I'm not going to get the project done that I need to get done. So you just got to use what you can.
Grassman76 on TikTok says the cheater stripes was a big video too.
Yes.
I don't know about the cheater stripes. I don't know I don't know how many views those videos have. The circle, yeah, I don't know which one. I don't know if it might be a joke. I don't know, but I don't know if any of those did all that well.
I think those videos, like your cheater stripe stuff, like that's like your, I don't want to say motto, but that's like something that you've kind of claimed. Like that's something like the cheater stripes. When people put hashtag cheater stripes, they know that's the lawn tools, because that's something you started. Like I think that's really cool.
Yeah, I need to do some cheater stripes again. I figured that out. What happened was my lawn got nicer and I didn't need to do cheater stripes anymore to make stripes. And so that kind of ended the cheater stripes because I didn't have to do them. Oh, it's Austinite. Oh my word. I haven't talked to you in forever.
He's on TikTok?
He's on TikTok and he's in disguise as the Grassman76.
Well, because his channel's no longer, his YouTube channel's gone.
You deleted it? Dude, he's on here right now.
Well, I looked at, I went through and I was looking at subscribers and I noticed his, I even tried to search it and it said this channel does not exist or something like that. I don't know.
He said, I killed my channel. He said he's been busy. No, I remember talking to him about that when he first stopped doing YouTube, at least consistently anyway. I texted him and I was like, where you been? And he was like building 4 new car audio stores or something like that in Oklahoma City.
When he had that brand new house he was building too.
Did you build your barn dominium? Too many work people found it, and it was a little much. I get that. People, I have patients come in and ask me about it. Or no, this is what's funny is because I also have a TikTok about. I also have a TikTok channel called the TikTok iDoc. So I have a couple different things, and so patients will come in and say, "Oh, we see your TikTok videos. We love your TikTok videos." And I go, "Oh yeah, which ones?" I'm like, I don't know, how goofy that is, because if it's like the TikTok iDoc, it's like, oh, okay, like that makes sense because here we are in a relationship where I'm an optometrist and you're my patient. But they're like, no, the lawn guy stuff. It's hilarious. I'm like, oh. I don't have any credibility. How people still come to see me as a patient when they see me doing this stuff with my lawn mowers.
Oh man, yeah, I didn't. Well, speaking of that, you're a big advocate for just like eye safety out in the lawn and doing stuff like that because you have probably seen more things than the average person probably has. So, kind of speak to that a little bit, like, the actual like what wearing proper eye care. And I know a lot of people like we're all just having fun here, and I guess I'm kind of getting serious. But seriously, like, I don't think about it when I'm out mowing the lawn. I just go out and do it. I don't ever think about putting, any sort of eye protection on. But you have probably seen a lot of cases where eye protection could have changed the game for that particular patient. So, what's your like? What are things that you have seen, and like, what do you recommend for people?
Yeah, I so I'll fully admit, like when I'm mowing my yard, I don't know how to admit, but when I'm mowing like on the zero turn lawnmower, I wear goggles with like foam around the outside, so like motorcycle goggles, but not because I'm like, oh, eye safety is the number one most important thing ever. It's because it's just annoying to get little grass clippings blowing into your eyes. Like it's just annoying. I'm not like, oh, eye health, like eye safety. I'm just a wuss maybe, and that's why I do that. Now weed eating, if you're weed eating, what are you supposed to string trimming?
Whippersnipper.
Whatever, say the snippeting. Then I have the new safety goggles that they're rubber around the outside, and so actually contact with the skin around here, because I half the time don't know if people are lying or not. But when people come in, when it's usually metal in their eye from grinding. If people are grinding metal, like with an actual metal grinder, um, they'll get metal in their eye and they claim they were wearing safety glasses. A lot of times they're not. They're like, oh, I wasn't wearing safety glasses, and metal shot right into my eye. And so then what we have to do is go in and like take the metal out somehow, just try to fish it out with like a little needle or something. We'll go in any way you can, really get the metal out. But then there's usually rust left in their cornea after that. And we go in with like a tiny little drill bit, basically, is the easiest way to describe it, and go in and drill out the rust from their cornea. They're numb, their eye is numb, but it's still really freaky to have something coming in and like touching your
Yeah.
eye. And just like the guy the other day, I just did this yesterday actually, and the guy was telling me that he didn't feel anything. He just saw like the light that he was looking at was getting distorted. Like when I pushed on his cornea with that thing, it would like go whoa, 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 and just like he could hear it, And so taking metal out of people's eyes is a probably twice a week sort of thing. And like I said, half the time they say they're wearing safety glasses, and what happens is they're just wearing normal safety glasses, and metal will just be kind of floating around. And just even if a little piece just like floats down into your eye, when it hits your cornea, it like sticks on there, and then it rusts. So like even if it's only been in there for a couple hours, a lot of time there will still be some rust that we have to go in there and drill
Oh
out.
man.
And so like you can imagine that if metal hits you in the wrong part of your cornea, if it was right in the middle and it caused a scar, then it's going to affect your vision. Like
Sure.
you could lose vision
Sure.
that way. If it's off to the side, a lot of times it'll cause a scar, and it's actually a lot of times not that big of a deal, really. Um, it's painful, so it's just something you want to avoid. So what I do, if I'm going to I never grind metal, so I mean but if I was ever going to grind metal, I would definitely be wearing safety glasses with contact all the way around. So I got some 3M safety glasses from Lowe's, and they have like a rubber, like in a gasket, is that what you call it? But a rubber contact all the way around here, so that something can't just float in. But if I'm going to be mowing, I have the foam, motorcycle goggles with like the foam that touches my skin all the way around. Because I've worn safety glasses, like normal safety glasses or sunglasses, and when you're mowing, like the stuff still floats in there all the time, and it's just as annoying. It really
Right.
doesn't help that part. So that's why I've kind of gone
Well,
to
I've
that.
noted. I've seen those 3M goggles you're talking about, and I haven't. I always, every time go to the hardware store, I always forget to look at them because that's something that I have considered getting. Because if I'm gonna get something, I want it to be something that's probably comfortable, or not probably comfortable, and going to last a long time. And I feel like those will probably be way more comfortable and last much longer than the little safety glasses, and be a lot more effective than those, like you already said. So, um, yeah. So with the ones with the foam, would those be just as effective as the rubber ones?
So here, let me do this real quick. Just everybody who's on TikTok, I'm gonna say goodbye to you because my phone is dying. So I'm just gonna say goodbye, TikTok. Thank you for coming. And if you want to see the rest of this conversation, you have to go to the Lawn Guardians channel on YouTube. Go over to the Lawn Guardian and pick up this conversation on YouTube because my phone is dying. It's like at 1%. So thank you for being here, and I will talk to you guys later on TikTok. But what were we talking about? Safety glasses? Yeah, the ones with the foam, I feel like are probably pretty effective, for keeping stuff out of your eye. Like when I'm mowing, and it works really well to keep the stuff out of there, that like the grass and stuff from floating into your eye. But I don't think those are safety rated. Like motorcycle goggles aren't compliant with ANSI standards and stuff for shatter resistance. So in optometry school, they show you videos of polycarbonate lenses, like the shatterproof lenses, and they'll shoot a bullet at those things, and a bullet will bounce off. Like it's kind
Wow.
of crazy how resistant those things are and how strong they are. Versus if you have the people will come in and ask for glass. So like, oh, I want glass in my glasses because they don't scratch as much as these other glasses, or they don't smudge as much, and glass just has better optics and blah blah blah. They're like way heavier. Glass is old school. No one actually uses, well, hardly anyone wants glass in their glasses because it's really heavy. You have a plastic like
Sure.
polymer or whatever. So like glass will actually shatter, and so then if you get hit with a rock, say lawnmower shoots a rock out the side, hits a brick wall, and like comes back and hits your glasses hard enough, the glass could shatter, and then a sharp shard of glass would go into your eye. Versus polycarbonate, if that rock bounces off the brick wall and hits the polycarbonate, the rock is probably just going to bounce off. But even if it did crack the lens, it's just going to crack and not like shard into sharp pieces or whatever. But it's super strong. Like polycarbonate, it's kind of insane.
That's
actually
wild that you do that 2 times a week.
At least I think I did it twice yesterday.
Wow. And are these
Yeah.
generally all like outdoor working people that you do it to, or are they just anybody?
Rework, people working in plants of different sorts, whatever, doing maintenance on machines or something like that.
That's wild. Well, did you hear that, people? Eye safety. It's important. We overlook it. No pun intended. But it is important. You should make it. I know you. Have you done like a dedicated YouTube video to that?
Not fully dedicated, no. It'd probably be pretty easy to do. Just about my advice for eye safety. What I feel like is that nobody would care.
Hey, but
I just don't know.
That's what we just talked about, Jordan. Nobody may care, but you never know.
Yeah, well, right. It could go viral. Why is this dude talking about safety? 2 million views. I doubt it. But hey, we're the shot, right?
Yeah.
Connor Ward must be intense to watch for you. So Super TA brought that up in the chat, and I did a little bit last. Was that last winter? I think when he started working on his shed, and it did. No, this is exactly what prodded. He's working on his shed, and he was grinding off a screw that like came through or whatever, and he was like power squinting, just like showing on video and everything, like grinding stuff. So I literally I texted him and I was like, Connor, hey, let's do a bit. I knew good and well that he wouldn't be into it because he loves to act like he doesn't care about safety at all, or maybe not actually care about safety at all. So I was like, I knew he wouldn't be into it. So I said, let's do a bit. That's how I sold it to him. I was like, let's just for fun, just for YouTube. You let me know what kind of safety glasses you want, and I'll send you some safety glasses, and he got them and he opened them up, and I think he wore them like once after that, but then he complained about him fogging, and I don't know that I've ever seen him again, but yes, he's kind of tough to watch, but I see it a lot, actually. I see it on TikTok. I mean, any videos, like because that's what I'm looking for. Like that's my thing. Like where you guys might watch a video and you'll see somebody grinding something, or see somebody even hammering on something, and not even think twice about it because and I don't blame you, but that's what I see. So I see it all the time. Like people you think about even just like with a chainsaw or an axe, like if you're hitting a piece of wood, think about how many of those like shards of wood go flying off in all those different directions. You're like, oh, it's just an axe, like no big deal. It's pretty far away from my face. But if one of those pieces of wood came in and hit you in the eye, my kid shot me in the eye with a Nerf bullet, and I was like thinking, oh man, because I was like going through my head all the things that could go wrong, and I was like, oh no, because it hurt pretty bad. It hurt really bad. He said, hey, you want to play Nerf Wars? And he's pointing the gun at me, and I was like, literally, the words were coming out of my mouth. The sentence that I had formed in my head that I was saying was, I was like, sure, but we need to put on safety glasses first. I think like, sure, but we boom. And like he just pulled the trigger and it hit me right in the eye. And I just fell on the floor and I was like, oh man. Like I think it was on the weekend and I was thinking, I'm gonna have to call one of my partners to come up and look at my eye, and I don't want to have to mess with that. And I was like, oh, thankfully, like everything was fine. I just like let it go for a little while and everything felt pretty good. So I said, I'll just see what happens when I wake up tomorrow morning, and if it's hurting, then I'll know what to do. Like I go in and have one of them see me up there. But um the accountant says safety Sally reporting for duty.
So do you
That, that,
have like a I know because Mickey Ball said seems like we got a fogging issue that we need to resolve. Do you have any like tips and tricks for resolving fog and like fogging up
so
lenses?
right now there are a lot of people because of
Yeah.
masks. People are coming out with lots of different products. There's lots of sprays and lens wipes, being sold. And I got one, like one of the lens wipes we have at our office. I like used one, and it works, but it not like it wouldn't, in my opinion. And I don't think like if I use the lens wipe on my safety glasses and use them on a summer day, to go mow my yard, there's no way they're gonna stay fog free for that like couple hours. Like it'll last, I don't know, 20 minutes
Sure.
or something. But maybe that's what I'd love to invent, is like the perfect pair of safety glasses, right? And bring my optometry and lawn care like entities together, and that's how they could kind of meld. And I don't know, do something where if I could get them to not fog, you'd have to have vents in them, I guess, which is fine, because if you just have some kind of a vent system that wouldn't allow stuff to go in, you know what I mean? Like if it's just layered enough to where it's got some kind of filter, or like overlapping overlapping pieces of plastic to where stuff can't filter in there. I'm sure they exist. I'm sure they're out there. They're probably just really expensive, and that's what Lowe's isn't gonna want to sell them, because they're like, oh, we can't sell $60 safety glasses and people won't
So
buy
is
them.
the I know I've heard of the method of like taking a dry bar of soap and rubbing that on the inside of lenses. Does that work too?
That I have not. I haven't heard that one. My dad will just always spit,
I've heard of
like
that one too.
like we scuba dive, and so like he would just. Actually, my kid was in the pool at his house this summer, and his goggles were fogging up, and my dad says, "Here, let me see those." And he takes his goggles and he's like, oh. like, like, "Ugh," like I get that might work, but I mean, it's different when they're your goggles and you're spitting in your own goggles, but that just seems a little bit weird to spit in somebody else's goggles.
See, Super TA, I think a video on eye safety from you would be a very positive and helpful video. I'm guilty at times, even if it teaches one person. Oh,
Reaches one
reaches. Yeah, you're
person.
right. Sorry, over misread that.
Just one person. I guess that's the same effect either way. I'm sorry I corrected you. That was
No,
dumb
you're
of me to
good. I
correct
don't
you.
care.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I should just do it. Like, because yeah, it's even if one person, if I could save one eyeball, right? Like one person's vision, then it would all be
There
worth
you
it.
go. Because that's you're thinking of other optometrists that won't have to deal with that.
Well, at the same time, they're getting paid when they have to deal with that, though.
Okay, so fine, don't do it. Then job security.
This job. No, no, no. That's not the type of job security you want, I guess. We just want everybody to be nearsighted. We don't want everybody to have
Sure,
metal in their
sure.
eye. Um, what was I gonna say? He said making a video. Oh, if I lose 200 subscribers over that video, then I'm coming after you, Super Bob. Right? I think he said his name was Bob. Hey, Bob, your lawn's making my lawn look bad. Is that right? That's what he said. He was like, "That's what changed my. That's what made him get into
Oh
lawn care."
yeah,
He was
yeah,
like,
yeah, 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 yeah.
"Hey, Bob, your weeds."
Hey, well, I noticed there's like 30 people in here, and there's only 16 likes to the video. So if you guys wouldn't mind giving us a like, that'd be much appreciated. It's just a simple thing you can do that helps me.
I should have gone to like the Lawn Whisperer when you did this first one of these with Justin, seeing how many likes that video had, and just demanded that this video get more likes than the Lawn Whisperer's
That's right.
slow lawn
Uh,
care.
You guys need to make this live stream have more likes than the one that Justin has been on. Even though Justin's been on a couple now since he's my main co-host.
Thumbs down, or was that already there?
There's always one thumbs down. I've never understood that.
I don't know.
There's always that one troll like, I'm going to that guy's channel. He uploaded something to give him a thumbs down.
Ever drill an eye? Yeah, I was talking about that. So there's something called an alger brush. It's like a little blue pen looking thing. You take the lid off, put a little tip in there, and it spins around like a tiny, tiny little drill. And we go in and take rust out of people's corneas when they get metal in their eye.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Do you know any people that do LASIK?
Yeah. So actually, in the state of Arkansas, we just got a law passed that said we can use lasers. It's not like we have to go. The like state association has to come up with like training programs and all these sort of things to make sure everyone is certified. But it actually won't be very long. And if I wanted to buy a crazy expensive laser, then we could do LASIK at our office after all this stuff goes through. But it was on the ballot, and everybody was asking me like, well, how am I supposed to vote on this thing? And I was like, well, don't worry about it. It actually got thrown out because ophthalmologists were fighting it. So there's like a big battle, like ophthalmologists don't want us doing stuff and we want to do more stuff. And it's always a legal battle. So they're still fighting it, but like they were fighting it way up until the end. So they got it put on the ballot somehow. But then I think I heard it got all the way up to like the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court threw it out. And they were like, nope, the optometrists win. The ophthalmologists were like doing something wrong. Now I know that somebody put another thumbs down because there was only one a second ago, and someone's just messing with us. Now there's one again.
That's fine.
Someone is just
the funny thing about it is like whenever you give a thumbs down, at least I got a view out of it.
Yeah, Barry Kavanaugh says he cringes when he sees somebody sharpening a mower blade and not using eye protection. That's like the exact situation where I can imagine somebody getting metal,
Sure.
go all the way through their eye, not just like getting into their cornea, but like you're talking about, a pretty high speed grinder on one of those bench grinders. And anyway, people doing that just like squinting.
I mean, I'm guilty of it, and I understand like that whole squinting thing when you see it or see other things. Because like me as an athletic trainer, when I see certain people squat and move a certain way, I'm like, oh, it seems like their knees are gonna give out any minute now. Like you just kind of know that after learning it and seeing it all the time and just seeing poor movement and whatever else. There's all relatable things in different fields, so I totally get it.
So I didn't know that you were an athletic trainer.
Yeah, I was an athletic trainer. I practiced for about 6 to 7 years, and then I was before becoming a stay-at-home dad. I was trying to transition into a different career, and it just didn't pan out. I had a couple interviews, almost had a job, but my when we had our second kid, it wasn't going to be financially viable to pay for childcare and both of us working. Like it was just going to be a wash. And at that point in time, I was trying to leave the field of athletic training anyway, and it just made sense for me to stay home and take care of the kids. And it is the hardest job I've ever had, and it still is. But it is the most rewarding because if anything, I can feel myself changing as a person, and I get to see my kids grow and change as well. So that's
awesome.
A bad day is not nearly as much of a bad day as it was in my previous career. So, yeah, I worked at a high school. I was when I was in grad school, I was a graduate assistant athletic trainer for the baseball team, volleyball team, and golf team. And the last job I had, I was actually in a clinic seeing non-operative and operative patients, sports patients, or people that participate in sports, seeing them and doing therapy with them. So that was my last job was actually the job I wanted to be at, but it like when I started my career in athletic training, I wanted to be in a clinic, and I was there, and I still was not happy. So it was time to move on to something else.
There you go. Jeffrey Dillner, are you the optometrist? There was another optometrist that commented on one of my videos, and I want to say it was you. And then, Jeffrey Dillner asked, do they send you a 1099 for the free stuff? No, And the reason I was thinking that Jeffrey Dillner is the other optometrist was because that's a thing in like medicine. Yeah, so like drug reps used to take doctors on vacation. They'd send them on vacations, and they'd give them all kinds of fancy gifts and all kinds of crazy things. But probably understandably so, that's a pretty big conflict of interest, because then if this certain drug, if this company's buying you, sending you on vacations and going on a cruise or whatever, like buying you gifts, then you're probably more likely to use that medication even if it's not the best one for the job, and so it clouds your judgment as a doctor. And so, but no, as far as like in the lawn care industry, no laws have been passed that I am aware of that say that marketing companies have to disclose their gifts, because it's marketing. And I mean, I guess you could argue that it's marketing in medicine too, but it's just a little bit different because there are lives on the line. In my case, in our case, than vision on the line.
Sure.
Whereas like here, if I tell somebody that I think Toro are the best mowers because I'm biased, it's not really going to hurt anybody.
Sure.
It's just spend their money on a Toro, and that's the best mower anyway, so it can't hurt anybody.
I mean, I don't know. I like my Hondas, but at the same time, that Time Master is pretty sweet too, because Honda doesn't have a 30-inch mower. But I'm sure if Honda did make a 30-inch mower, it'd probably be right up there competing with Toro, just like they always are.
Yeah.
Uh,
What's the saying? Ifs and could have beens were something and somethings, then if ifs and could have beens were somethings and somethings, then Honda would be as good as Toro. That's how the saying goes.
Mickey Ball, he said, y'all's 2 yards couldn't be more opposite slope wise. Well, actually, Mickey, I don't live at the old yard. I don't have the beast anymore. The beast is in someone else's hands, and I don't have that atrocious slope of a yard anymore. Jordan got to experience it one last time. That was right before we actually moved. You didn't know this at the time, Jordan, but we were actually house hunting at that point in time. We were kind of keeping on the DL when you came for the GIE, or after the GIE. We were in the process of looking for somewhere else to move, and you got to experience it right before we left.
No, because I have to say, because I saw the YouTube videos, and like I would give Ben a hard time, and tell you like, oh, mow straight up and down. What's the problem, man? Like, why don't you mow this way? So then he does it, and then I get there and I see this hill, and I'm standing on it going, what in the world? Like it's way steeper than it's way steeper in real life than it looks on the screen. I don't know how you would ever be able to like, I don't know, like I don't know if there's any way to make it look realistic on screen, but
the only way I tried to do that was I tried to do a profile view of me walking up the hill, and you could kind of see me straight up and down in the hill like this. That's the best way I could do it, and I still don't think people got it. But Super TA, thank you for the $5. This $5 super chat. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate that. But yes.
Yeah, so when you were standing on it, like I don't know, because I saw the videos of you mowing and doing everything, and I was always like, I don't know, it doesn't look like that big of a deal, but like standing on it was a completely different story.
And the last time that you were there, that's when we were filming LT Turf, which I needed to get into that really quick before we end the show. But that was when the short clip of me saying "Quiet, please" was thrown into your video, and I think a few other people used it.
That's exactly.
I think it's funny. I was actually mocking Ben Sims, because if you ever watch some of his videos when there's dogs barking in the background, he says "Quiet, please." Like, that's who I was trying to mimic. I don't think anybody knew that, but I was okay with it because people still thought it was funny. So
yeah, you became a meme.
Yeah, that was great. But speaking of LT Turf, when is that starting back up soon?
Yes. So there is a new LT Turf series. I think we've got. Should I give everyone a preview of who's going to be in LT Turf this year?
Hey, you do what you want to
do. Which everyone could probably, if you watch my video, I do like 2 videos. If I go to somebody's house, I'm going to do a video like just going there, but then we'll film an LT turf like kind of behind the scenes. So on our road trip to Chicago, we went up to Justin, the Lawn Whisperer's house. We did an LT turf there. When we got to Jake's house, it was dark, and we knew that was going to be it was going to be dark when we got there, so that didn't really work out to do an LT turf with him. But then we went up to Chicago and did one with Lake House Lawn Care with Kyle, and one with you may remember Mark from Lawn Creeps.
Oh yeah, I remember him.
He's dabbling back in YouTube again. He's teasing us with some stuff on Instagram. He's kind of teasing that he's gonna like put some content out there. He's like, stick with me and I'm gonna put some really cool. He's really into like dirt and like the all natural, like make your lawn kind of maintain itself sort of thing.
Yeah.
So there's three. Trying to remember who my other ones were. So Scott Price, again, I'm referencing him, and nobody knows who that is because he's not a YouTuber. But I talk about him all the time because we just talk. We have this group. It's another Arkansas lawn care guy, and there's a group of us that we all kind of chat. Budget Lawns, and I think I'm missing one. I think I have 6, but I can't remember who the 6th one is now. I was supposed to go to a minor league baseball stadium this year, but then COVID shut down like the whole MLB, and so that'll get postponed until next year. But hoping to do like maybe even, I don't know, like just depends on how many we get to do. But I kind of even envisioned like doing LT turf, like the homeowner version, and then even having like an LT sports turf.
Yeah, that's awesome. I like that.
There's a couple of golf. There's a guy who lives like probably 30, 45 minutes away from me. On one of the really nice golf courses around here, and so he said he's like messaging me. He's like, hey, I want to talk to the superintendent and see if I can get you guys over here on this golf course. I was like, that'd be amazing. And then his friend is the superintendent on another nice golf course, like not very far away from that. So like, anyway, apparently a couple connections there to where maybe doing some of this stuff. And then on TikTok, I've made connections with a couple of guys there's a guy who does maintenance on the Indianapolis Colts golf course and like practice fields, and then there's a guy who does Penn State and the Pittsburgh Steelers.
That's awesome. So when is your first episode premiering?
I don't have a date yet, but we're probably looking at like February. I think I'm going to start editing those here pretty soon. I've got all the footage and everything. Obviously, I just need to start editing those, and so I'll start editing those and kind of like just compiling them, and then we'll do like our normal, the same thing we did last year where we put those every week. What did we do? Like we did Thursdays, I want to say. We were doing like Thursday at 7 p.m. or
Sounds
something
about
like
right.
that.
I know it was around the 7 p.m. mark.
Did like a little live release, whatever those are called,
Yep.
premiere, where it's kind of fun because everyone can get in there and
Yep.
chat and different
Yep.
things.
Well, I think another place that would be cool for you to go for the professional side of things is Arizona, the Cardinals football field. I don't know if you knew this, but their field actually slides out of the stadium, so it can get, because it's actual grass as far as I know, and it slides out from underneath like the stands in the stadium out to the outside, so they can grow the grass so it gets enough sunlight and all that kind of stuff. So that would be a cool place to go check out and give your audience some sweet content.
I need to just start like sending emails and making phone calls left and right and trying to like, how do you get a hold of these people? Like that's my thing, and I'm trying to figure out how to get a hold of any of these people. Like, so one of the other ones that like was an interesting conversation was with the Chicago White Sox. So Roger Bossert is like kind of an unofficial mascot because he's like third generation superintendent for the White Sox, and but so they have like different experiences. I was emailing one of the ladies that puts together their experience packages, where one of them's like the run the bases experience, where you can like go get tickets to the game, and then before the game you get to like go run the bases or whatever, like something like that. But she was going to put one together for us that was like going and meeting up with him and like sitting with him in his office and just chatting and like hopefully getting to see some of the grass or whatever. Like, I mean, I would try to milk as much of the out of that as I could. But,
well, we are well over an hour, and I know it's way past Jordan's bedtime, but I really appreciate you sticking through and staying awake for us tonight. Yeah, it does mean a lot to have you come on the show. I've always admired your guys' channel. I always, like when you guys were just starting out, I know I've told you this before, but I knew when I saw your channel and just the funny stuff and just original stuff you guys were making, I knew it was going to be something that was not done in our community, and it lived up to its hype. You guys are funny. I really enjoy your content. I mean, your stuff on TikTok and Instagram, I mean, that all is melded together with what you guys do on YouTube. And I don't know, I just really enjoy what you guys do, and I sincerely appreciate you coming on the show tonight. So thank you for, blessing us all with your presence.
This has been fun. Thanks for having me.
Well, guys, I am going to wrap up the show. I don't know if I'm going to do a show for New Year's Day. I'm definitely not going to do one next week because that's obviously Christmas. I still haven't decided about January 1st, but I will let you guys know. That's 2 weeks away, so I have time. But if anything, I will be back on January 8th. I believe we may have Justin back on the show at that point. I'm not 100% sure, but it's going to be a fun one no matter what. I really appreciate all of you guys tuning in tonight. If you don't mind, hit the like button. Give me a subscribe to my channel if you like what I'm doing here. I hope you guys have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, a safe one. I hope you get to just spend some quality time with loved ones and all of that fun stuff, and maybe you get some special things under the Christmas tree. I don't know if Santa's going to be good to you or not. If not, another plug. The desk. That was perfect because I was already thinking about it before you did it.
That was what you were going for, wasn't it? Santa, have you been a good boy?
Yeah, tell your wife or loved one, significant other about the desk lawn. Email Jordan at thelawntools@gmail.com. He'll get you set up right away for a sweet desk lawn.
There you go.
It'll get you through the cold gray winter skies and carry you up right into spring to start mowing your beautiful lawns. But thanks so much, guys. I hope you guys have a great holiday season, and we'll most likely, we will see you next year. Thanks so much, guys. Have a
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.